paid program.
The following special program is a paid advertisement for Westward Promotions, Remembering the 80s collection.
The greatest hits of the 80s. The hottest music of the decade is back, and it's burning up the airwaves.
You're gonna have to face it, you're addicted to love. Everybody went young tonight, and I can't fight this feeling anymore. Relax, don't do it when you wanna come.
Remember the music of the 80s? There was nothing like it. It was the start of the video revolution, and a whole new generation of music superstars were born. Great rock groups like Foreigner, In Excess, Robert Palmer, the J. Giles Band. New wavers were riding high like the B-52s, Bananarama, the Cars, and the Romantics. Artists like REO Speedwagon, Richard Marx, and John Waite introduced us to supercharged power ballads. In the 80s, we fell in love, danced till total exhaustion, and partied into the wee hours of the night. You'll have to agree the 80s were a great decade for music, but guess what? They're back. So get set to trip back to an unforgettable time in music history.
The heat is on.
That's right, the heat is on. Because in the next 30 minutes, we're going to take you back through 10 incredible years of hit music. You'll experience total recall to the biggest names topping the charts in the 80s. The Cars, J. Giles Band, Hall & Oates, Men at Work, Tears for Fears, David Bowie, Bobby Brown, The Go-Go's. They're all part of the most complete 80s collection ever offered. Join host Nina Blackwood as she spins more number ones, more classic tracks, more party anthems to ever walk this way before.
Walk like an Egyptian.
The Bangles. All-time anthem authors, Foreigner.
For a girl like you.
Grammy Award-winning group, Culture Club.
Do you really want to hurt me?
Down Under mega group, In Excess.
I need you tonight.
80s supergroup, Toto. Plus much, much more. This is just the beginning. Stay with us because in just a few minutes, we're going to tell you how to get your hands on this totally awesome collection of 6 CDs or 6 cassettes. This collection goes the distance. It combines over 110 of the decade's greatest hits into one incredible musical library. And here's the good news. Remembering the 80s maxes out on the hits at a truly affordable price that's impossible to beat. Now, here's your guide for a ride through the 80s. She's best known as one of America's original MTV VJs, a co-host on Solid Gold, and former music reporter for Entertainment Tonight. Your expert on the 80s, Nina Blackwood.
Hi there, and a big shout to everybody who was living large in the 80s. You know, so much happened musically in the 80s, it's hard to keep track of it all. Fortunately, I was part of that music era, and that's why I'm here to guide you through those 10 groundbreaking years.
Shake it up.
The 80s saw the blend of punk with rock. Groups like The Cars, Bangles, In Excess created their own trademark techno-pop sound. Tone Loc opened the charts for today's young platinum-plated rappers.
She loved to do the wild thing.
Trinidad's Billy Ocean turned America's ears to tropical sounds.
Caribbean queen. Now we're sharing the same dream. Waxing on your best behavior.
And UK duo Tears for Fears led the second British invasion in pop music. See what I mean? So much great music jammed into 10 unforgettable years, and they're all here on 6 CDs or 6 audio cassettes. A lot of memories in this collection, and to prove it, I'm going to set our time machine back to 1980 for a short, slightly misguided tour of our favorite decade. It's 1980 and MTV isn't even part of my vocabulary. Ronald Reagan takes over from Jimmy Carter, and the U.S. Olympic hockey team takes on the Soviets in the gold medal miracle winter games. A little-known Bosom Buddy debuts in 1980, and Brooke Shields is the seat of fashion.
You know I wish that I had Jesse's girl.
The year is 1981, and soap star rocker Rick Springfield is a 2-career hunk. I was thrilled to sign on as one of the original MTV VJs, while Walter Cronkite signed off as America's favorite anchorman. Definitely a sign of the times.
Jesse's girl. My blood runs cold. My memory has just been sold.
In 1980, 1982, Centerfold was a tea party for Boston's Jay Giles Band, in a year that saw big debuts for David Letterman, E.T., and Sly Stallone as Rambo. In 1983, Let's Dance by David Bowie goes to the top of the charts. Michael Jackson has a rather scary experience filming a TV commercial, and Tom Cruise shows us his stuff in Risky Business. Sunglasses at Night. What a 1984 concept. It was so Miami Vice, so Sonny Crockett, so Arnold. All eyes were on Foreigner's #1 hit of 1985, and our hearts went out to Ethiopia and Live Aid, which raised $85 million for famine relief. I was there broadcasting live, and I will never forget it. Starship landed another hit in 1986, while Alf hopped out of his own flying saucer from the planet Melmac. Vanna White looked marvelous, to quote Billy Crystal. Speaking of shakedowns, in 1987, the stock market dropped and Lethal Weapon mopped up at the box office.
Don't worry, be happy now.
1988 brought smiles to Bobby McFerrin with his #1 hit. Flojo was happy with gold at the Seoul Olympics, while Roger Rabbit was a slap-happy hit.
Is this burning an eternal flame?
Batman was a huge hit in the summer of 1989, and the Berlin Wall came tumbling down.
Baby, do you know that's where heaven is a place on earth?
Wow, 10 of my favorite years just flashed before my eyes, all because the songs we just sampled were bona fide hits, many of them #1, the best of the best. In total, remembering the 80s boasts over 110 chart-topping tracks.
Love is a battlefield.
Now, you may have these songs on vinyl or scattered somewhere in an overcrowded CD collection like this. You'd have to buy all these CDs separately and find a place to store them just to get the songs found on Remembering the 80s. And the cost. Coming up, we got a video dance party, a power ballad set, rare gems, and our 80s trivia quiz. But right now, it's your opportunity to look at this incredible collection.
Everybody's working for the weekend. Let's go! They got the beat.
Get ready to experience 10 years of incredible hit music.
Yeah, they got the beat.
They're all here. Robert Palmer, The Bangles, REO Speedwagon, Foreigner, In Excess, Culture Club, The Cars, Hall & Oates, and much more. What you'll like about Remembering the 80s is that you'll get over 110 of the decade's greatest hits, all gathered into one incredible collection. That's more hit music than you can handle, all jammed onto 6 awesome cassettes or 6 CDs.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. I've been waiting for a girl like you.
You get the greatest collection of 80s music ever assembled. And now you can own this incredible hit collection for your very own.
I'm your Venus, I'm your fire, your fire. Shake it up. Shake it up.
You get great rock acts, hot dance tracks, monster hits, power ballads, pop classics, and much more.
And she's dancing like she's never danced before. Come, 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 chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Everybody.
At last, you can catch up with all your favorite 80s artists. Tears for Fears, David Bowie, The Go-Go's, Toto, The Jay Giles Band, Men at Work, The B-52s, and much more.
I'm walking on sunshine. Wow, and does it feel good? Hey! Take on me. Take me on. So take these broken wings.
Remembering the 80s gives you over 6 hours of totally awesome music on 6 cassettes or 6 CDs.
Everybody have fun tonight.
Plus, When you order Remembering the 80s, you get this bonus AM/FM headset, a $20 value, yours free. Call now and begin reliving the 80s all over. If you don't think this is the most complete 80s collection, simply return it. No questions asked.
Is this burning an eternal flame?
The 80s are back, and they're better than ever. Call and order your collection now.
To order Remembering the 80s, use your credit card and call the number on your screen. Remembering the 80s can be yours on cassette for 4 easy payments of $24.95 or on CD for 4 easy payments of $29.95 plus shipping and handling. Or send check or money order for the full amount plus shipping and handling to the address below. Order now and you'll also receive an AM/FM stereo headset, a $20 value, yours free. Remembering the 80s gives you over 110 hits on 6 awesome cassettes or 6 CDs. The 80s are back. Order now.
Oh, I love the Romantics. I think of Billy Ocean, Donna Summer, the Pointer Sisters.
Love Shack, Walk Like an Egyptian, Walking on Sunshine.
Welcome back to Remembering the 80s. I'm excited about playing DJ to some of my favorite 80s tracks. Working at MTV allowed me to interview a lot of the great names in the music biz. None was bigger at the time than Robert Palmer, who I have to admit was one of the best dressed men in rock. Here's an addictive hit that still looks and sounds great today.
Gonna have to face it, you're addicted to love. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Relax, don't do it. When you want a second to it. Relax, don't do it. When you want to come.
Kick and step, but what 80s party would be complete without Katrina and the Waves?
I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, and don't feel good. Hey, all right now.
Hey! The 80s were a great time for music. Love the 80s. Favorite time.
Oh, you can never get enough of the 80s.
Jenny, Jenny, who can I turn to? 8675309.
Slow songs, fast songs, new wave, you name it, it's got it. It's really a great collection. Makes me want to dance.
Here's a triple threat new wave set from the Bangles, Wang Chung, and Kaja Gugu. Maybe one Goo too many.
Walk like an Egyptian.
Tears for Fears, the Cars, Go-Go's, Bananarama.
This collection would make a great 80s party. Awesome tracks.
Shine, shine, hush, hush.
Foreigner, Pointer Sisters.
Shine, shine, hush, hush.
Alrighty, the Remembering the 80s dance party is in full effect now, so let's get down to the Love Shack and those Georgia pop features, the B-52s. My very first interview some 16 years ago. I was just 10 years old. Nice.
Love Shack is a little place where we can get together. Love Shack, baby.
Oh, tainted love. Tainted love. Now I know I've got to run away. I've got to get away.
99 Luftballons, ihrem Weg zum Horizont hielt man für UFOs aus dem All. Warum schickte ein General?
Bet you forgot about all those great dance tracks from the 80s. Well, this collection's got them, and then some. Everything you need to get your party going.
See people rocking, hear people chanting, feeling hot, hot, hot.
It's time time to cool it down and spin some tracks for the true romantics out there. And then we'll let you in on how you can get your hands on this ultimate collection.
Baby, come to me. Let me put my arms around you. This was meant to be. And I'm also glad I found you. Need you every day. Ooh, baby, I love the way anything.
If you love the music that you've been listening to right now, pick up the phone and get Remembering the 80s. It's jammed with over 110 of the most loved 80s hits, and it's delivered right to your door at a price that is truly unbelievable. Come on, if you order now, you'll be back just in time for our Power Ballad set, great movie hits, and rare gems. Do it now. The music of the 80s is back.
I need you tonight, 'cause I'm not sleeping.
Get ready to experience 10 years of incredible hit music. They're all here. Robert Palmer, The Bangles, REO Speedwagon, Foreigner, In Excess, Culture Club, The Cars, Hall & Oates, and much more. What you'll like about Remembering the 80s is that you'll get over 110 of the decade's greatest hits, all gathered into one incredible collection. That's more hit music than you can handle, all jammed onto 6 awesome cassettes or 6 CDs.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack.
I've been waiting for a girl like you.
You get the greatest collection of 80s music ever assembled. And now you can own this incredible hit collection for your very own.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
You get great rock acts, hot dance tracks, monster hits, power ballads, pop classics, and much more.
And she's dancing like she's never danced before. Come a chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Everybody
At last, you can catch up with all your favorite 80s artists. Tears for Fears, David Bowie, The Go-Go's, Toto, the J. Giles Band, Men at Work, the B-52s, and much more.
I'm walking on sunshine. Wow, and don't it feel good? Hey! Take on me. Take me on. So take this broken wing.
Remembering the 80s gives you over 6 hours of totally awesome music on 6 cassettes or 6 CDs.
Everybody have fun tonight.
Plus, when you order Remembering the 80s, you get this bonus AM/FM headset, a $20 value, yours free. Call now and begin reliving the 80s all over.
And I'm gonna keep on loving you.
If you don't think this is the most complete 80s collection, we return it. No questions asked.
Is this burning an eternal flame?
The 80s are back, and they're better than ever. Call and order your collection now.
To order Remembering the 80s, use your credit card and call the number on your screen. Remembering the 80s can be yours on cassette for 4 easy payments of $24.95 or on CD for 4 easy payments of $29.95 plus shipping and handling. Or send check or money order for the full amount plus shipping and handling to the address below. Order now and you'll also receive an AM/FM stereo headset, a $20 value, yours free. Remembering the 80s gives you over 110 hits on 6 awesome cassettes or 6 CDs. The 80s are back. Order now.
The 80s were incredible. They were fabulous. I had so much fun.
I love going back to the 80s. It's a good time. It makes me feel good.
Each song brings back great memories.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just talking to my agent, Hollywood, you know. Speaking of Hollywood, it certainly plays a big part in remembering the 80s, a soundtrack to your life, and many of the great movie hits of the decade. Now, Arthur was one of those movies that produced a timeless hit that also won the Oscar for Best Song of 1981. In 1984, there were all kinds of breakdance movies, but two dance flicks in particular had a leg up on the others, Footloose and Flashdance. People tend to forget that many of the songs I'm remembering the 80s were originally released on vinyl, like this track from Toto, and haven't been readily available on compact disc. And when it comes to rare gems, remembering the 80s is a veritable diamond mine. Here's one of my favorite tracks that's hard to find, Broken Wings by Mr. Mister. I bet you didn't know that Run DMC performed with Aerosmith in the remake of Walk This Way.
She told me to walk this way. Told this way. Walk this way. Told this way.
Yeah, Nina B throwing a little curve at you. We've been partying all night, and I know I promised you power ballads. I haven't let you down so far, have I? I've got classic tracks coming from Foreigner and REO Speedwagon, but first, a personal favorite from a good friend. Here's John Waite on Remembering the 80s. There's more great stuff where this came from right here on these 6 CDs or 6 audio cassettes. Over 110 hits. Remembering the 80s is the only collection that brings together great rock classics, dance tracks, power ballads, and rare gems, all into a single package. No other collection offers so much at such an affordable price. Take it from a fan. You can't find an 80s collection better than this. Make that call now. Bring home the music of the 80s today.
I really need it tonight.
Get ready to experience 10 years of incredible hit music. They're all here. Robert Palmer, The Bangles, REO Speedwagon, Foreigner, In Excess, Culture Club, The Cars, Hall & Oates, and much more. What you'll like about Remembering the 80s is that you'll get over 110 of the decade's greatest hits, all gathered into one incredible collection. That's more hit music than you can handle, all jammed onto 6 awesome cassettes or 6 CDs.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. I've been waiting for a girl like you.
You get the greatest collection of 80s music ever assembled. And now you can own this incredible hit collection for your very own.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
You get great rock acts, hot dance tracks, monster hits, power ballads, pop classics, and much more.
And she's dancing like she's never danced before. Come, 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 chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Everybody.
At last, you can catch up with all your favorite 80s artists. Tears for Fears, David Bowie, The Go-Go's, Toto, The Jay Giles Band, Men at Work, The B-52s, and much more.
I'm walking on sunshine. Wow, and it's time to feel good. Hey!
80s gives you over 6 hours of totally awesome music on 6 cassettes or 6 CDs. Plus, when you order Remembering the 80s, you get this bonus AM/FM headset, a $20 value, yours free. Call now and begin reliving the 80s all over. If you don't think this is the most complete 80s collection, simply return it. No questions asked.
Is this burning an eternal flame?
The 80s are back, and they're better than ever. Call and order your collection now.
To order Remembering the 80s, use your credit card and call the number on your screen. Remembering the 80s can be yours on cassette for 4 easy payments of $24.95 or on CD for 4 easy payments of $29.95 plus shipping and handling. Or send check or money order for the full amount plus shipping and handling to the address below. Order now and you'll also receive an AM/FM stereo headset, a $20 value, yours free. Remembering the 80s gives you over 110 hits on 6 awesome cassettes or 6 CDs. The 80s are back. Order now.
You just pop in the CD, you play it, you've got hours of great music. It's that easy. Under $100 for this collection, I think it'd be amazing.
That's a great deal.
Welcome back to Remembering the 80s. It's almost time to go, but before we do, it's trivia time, just like we used to do on MTV. Did you know some songs on Remembering the 80s are covers of early pop hits? Shocking Blue, Merrily Rush, Louis Armstrong, The Supremes, and Dionne Warwick had their hits covered by Remembering the 80s artists. Here's the challenge. Try and match the following songs with their original artists. If you scored perfect, then you are a true buff when it comes to 80s stuff. Time is short, so before we go our separate ways, I just want to review what we've done here. We've heard tracks from Foreigner, In Excess, B-52s, Richard Marx, The Romantics, Bananarama, The Cars, Robert Palmer. So for many of you, the tracks I didn't get to might be precisely the tunes that would get you interested in remembering the 80s. So the only way to find out is to call the number on the screen and try the collection on for size. Remembering the 80s guarantees your satisfaction. Hey, it's been great. And as Nina Blackwood of Remembering the 80s and Points Beyond, I want to thank Warner Music for having me along, and you guys for watching and flashing back in our 80s time capsule. We just might do this again real soon, because there's lots more hits where these came from. See ya.
I love this collection. I'm glad the 80s are back.
There's hours of great music here. I'd say get Remembering the 80s. It's incredible.
The preceding special program is a paid advertisement for Westward Promotions, Remembering the 80s collection.